Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we got something a little bit different for you. Today we are actually going to be working on a chainsaw. Yep, a little different. Two reasons I'm showing you this video. One is how to swap out the clutch on a Stihl MS200. Just in case you ever have to swap it, most clutches go in the same way this one does. And number two, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks if you ever want to use a chainsaw as a motor on a mini bike or scooter or anything like that that you want to try to motorize off of a small 42 to 60cc chainsaw. All right, so here we go. I'll show you what we're dealing with and how to go about it.
So this is the MS 201T, not just the 200. My bad on that. Anyways, they're all about the same. Anyways, was running this last year, doing some cutting, fired it up, and then this was spinning okay. And then when I hit the, tried to touch the tree, it just stopped dead. Now this is a climbing saw. It's not the saw I use on the ground. This is a climbing saw. I use it up in the trees. But this blade, like I say, spin freely. As soon as I touch it, it would stop spinning. So I'm praying, usually the simplest thing is what's wrong with these, is that I just blew out the clutch. I've had this saw for a couple of years now, and it does get used a lot, so I'm thinking that's what happened. So I'm going to show you how to open it up, where the clutch is, and then how to modify those clutches if you ever want to build, as I say, a little motorized toy of some sort. All right, so this one's really simple. It literally just has one bolt that holds the bar and chain on. Now some styles like this one, it actually is hooked to it. Doesn't come off. Some older ones it comes off. This one it does not, it stays on. Come on. This has been on there for a while. There we go. Pretty dirty in there. I need to clean that up too. Ew. Do that while we're at it. And there's our clutch. And yeah, I'm gonna bring this a little closer so you can see that easier and get some light into it here. That is not yeah, that's not touched anymore. Oh, definitely why it's not working. The whole thing's turning. That's gonna be fun. All right. Really need to service this. Jeez, dirty as heck. All right. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That's the first time I've seen one do that. I'll have to show you that when I get this apart. Literally separated the teeth from the clutch. Wow. Well, that's going to make it interesting to get this apart. Okay, so in this one it looks like there are, I was right, left-hand thread, so righty-loosey instead of righty-tighty. Anyways, because the clutch, or when you pull it, just wanting to pull it the other way, can't use the cord bite like I normally would. So we're going to pull the spark plug out and see if we can put a piston stop in. Something in there to stop the piston from moving outwards so that we can get the clutch off. Ooh wee. That's a little bit filled up. Yeah. Probably because I've been pumping it over. There we go. So, I found an Allen key, put it in there, jammed it, and then with the right pressure, we got it to pop. So, we got to remember that that way is off, not the other way. Okay, so there's the clutch part. I thought that's what blew apart. It didn't. It's actually all still in one piece. Bearing's still good, but the new one came with a new bearing, so I'm going to replace that as well. Why use the old one? What happened with this one is, this is the whole concept of it. It literally snapped it off. It literally snapped this thing in two. That is crazy. I've never seen that, to be honest. I've seen the insides fall apart. Anyways, we have a brand new one here. New guts, new bearing, new clips, depending on the style you have. Sometimes you need the clips. This one you don't. Just screws on. Now, with this, even with this one being wrecked the way it is, you can still use this as your spacer, or not. Drill your hole the right size. But what I did is I took this part, I took a bicycle sprocket and welded it to it. Then put it back into the clutch, and then when I fired up that, when the clutch came in, it spins your bicycle clutch. You run a bicycle chain to whatever you're driving. We made all kinds of like little mini three-wheelers and stuff like that, and that's what we drove them with. Just a little 49cc motor. Modify one of these things up. I think I still have it kicking around, actually. The one I modified still has the sprocket on it and everything, and then away we went. It's not bad. You want to keep your sprocket small, though. You really do. Too big, you're not going to get anything out of it. No real torque out of it. So you want to keep your sprocket fairly small, and you weld it to this. So even a broken one like this, because the clutch isn't broken, I could actually modify this up, retouch that weld, put this back together, and presto, we'd have one to go ripping around on something if we wanted it. I'm keeping these parts because parts are hard to come by. So we'll put those in that bag, and we'll put this one in. Now I'm slamming some grease into this bearing. These things take a lot of wear and tear. I'll put some around the shaft there too, because these things do take a shit kicking, and I want to make sure it doesn't come apart. Drop that on, up and over that. There we go. This on. Come on. Take that out. Again, that's all I used was an Allen key. Kind of a weird squared one, but still an Allen key that I had. Worked well to stop the cylinder. Now, to tighten it, you can pull the handle up, because that'll engage the clutch on that. And there we go. Now, the nice part about this, you don't have to go super insanely crazy on it, because it will, it tightens itself as you're running it. So once you're running it, it tightens itself. Everything is good. There we go. That's why it's threaded backwards, so of course that it doesn't undo when it's running. Spark plug. There we go. Literally don't even know where I got this spark plug wrench. With something else I got. I must admit I do like it. It's pretty cool because it allows you to get all kinds of different angles, pressures. Works pretty good. Now give me a second because I'm going to go and clean out all this and make this not have 200 pounds of oiled up sawdust on it, so it'll work better. All right, cleaned up the bar, cleaned up this part. That looks a lot better than it did. So now start putting it back together. Now you might notice I put the chain on the bar and then I turned around and took it back off once I got it here so I could line things up. The reason I did that as backwards as that seems is that too often I've had a case where I've even had the ground crew hand me a saw to use and the chain was on backwards. So I always put the chain on the bar the way I'm going to put it on, and then I know everything is, quote, facing the right direction. If I screw it up after that, that's just my own stupidity. Not that it hasn't happened, but we try not to. There we go. All back on. Okay, there we go. It is working, but the chain is a tad tight, like a little bit too tight. Now, when it heats up, it's going to expand a little bit and get a little looser. I know, but that's just a little too tight. So I'm going to get a screwdriver, just back off just a tiny little bit, maybe 1/8 of a turn, just to get a little more play in it and keep it from being too tight. I may have to tighten it back up once I'm using it, but at the moment it's sounding dry and not like just a little too tight. There we go. That wasn't even a quarter, that was a 16th. Not even an 1/8, but a 16th. That feels a little bit better. I think it's 2 because everything's tight in there, all new. So, all right, there we go. Ready for another season of hacking. And as I say, 2 things. 1, that's how to do the clutch, and 2, that's how to modify a clutch. Now, that clutch is designed a little differently because the clutch sits on the outside, so it makes it a little harder to get your teeth on the inside for a sprocket. You can still do it. If you're lucky, some of the other ones and the bigger saws, it's flipped. It's actually, those gears are on the inside, the disc is on the outside. So it works really good for mini bikes, scooters, and all that kind of stuff. It's a great way to do it.
We made a motorized skateboard out of it that way. It was pretty sweet. So I hope that helps, and I will see you next video.